Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to back to Retired Life Inspired. My name is Annie M. I hope you're well. I hope you're doing very well. We are on the last 10 days of Ramadan. The last recording I did the interview with my eldest daughter, Savannah. We were discussing narcissism. Today's part 2. Yeah, I know it's been a minute. I know it's been a little bit, but I'll explain to you why. This Ramadan has been absolutely amazing. And Ramadan Mubarak, by the way. Ramadan Mubarak. I hope you're well. For those that are observing. This has been the most amazing Ramadan I've ever had. It has taken me through the emotional roller coaster. I've had the highs. I've had the lows. It's been... you do a lot of reflection and praying and studying your Holy Qur'an during this 30-day period. And this has been nothing short of the most nuclear Ramadan I've ever had. It's been life-changing. One of the main reasons is because I'm with a group called Prayer and Fasting Foundation to Success, and we are, many of us are members of the Nation of Islam. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said to his followers, the Ramadan fast, as it's normally done, isn't a fast for my followers. So the founder, Brother Warren 2X, decided he was going to just, he was going to eat every 3 and 4 days. So he would eat Sunday night would be his last meal, and then he would fast until Wednesday, and then break his fast there, and then again that Sunday, and so on and so forth, rinse and repeat, right? Now normally during Ramadan you do not eat in the day. It's from sunset to sundown. You do not eat and do not drink, and you abstain from any kind of intimacy if you're a married couple. But at the end of that day, you break and you eat your meal. Okay? That's not what we're doing. When we break our fast, when the sun goes down, we are breaking it with coffee, water, or tea. We don't eat again until sundown on Wednesday or sundown, Wednesday and Sunday. And then, just to add to that, just receive this wonderful inspiration to take our study of the Holy Quran, those 30 parts over those 30 days, bring it to Facebook Live, where we have readers. It is being broken down in discussion. He is leading the discussion and sharing his amazing notes and his breakdown of the Holy Quran that he's done for about 2 years or a year or so, and sharing with it and expounding on it and expanding on it. And it's getting coverage, and people are tuning in. People that don't probably even identify themselves as Muslim have a chance to find out what the Holy Quran is about, and just to kind of listen and grow and learn. So I'm going to have the link for that, and if you want to join in and listen, please do so. I am finally thinking I'm going to finally get him interviewed. And his Brother Warren 2X, I think this is the thing I want to interview him on in the next coming weeks, and that is, once Ramadan is over, I would love to interview him. I hope you hear this. I will send this to you. Hint, hint, I'm coming after you. But this is what I would like to interview him and various members of Prayer and Fasting Foundation to Success, and just ask them, how did you love this experience, or what? So stay tuned for that. But we're going to go ahead and finish up the second part of the interview I had with my eldest daughter, Savannah, about narcissism and covert narcissism. The response to this was beautiful. I'm really glad people loved it. Aisha, I'm really glad you now know what a narcissist is. Sister Sondra X. Lewis, #1 fan. I'm so glad you enjoyed it, and I will try to expand on some of those kind of interviews. If you don't recall, Sister Sondra, she was the one that has the wonderful company Iconic Alchemy and the wonderful product called Paloma, the serum, which I've been using and love it, and I still have a lot of it. This is a real great product. I'll put the link in there too so you can check it out. But other than that, without further delay, Ramadan Mubarak. Let's see the rest of the interview with my eldest daughter, Savannah, a conversation between mother and daughter. Peace and take care.
A truly deranged, dangerous narcissist, I said they lack empathy,
Right.
and they do not see the problem with their behavior.
Right.
However, do not do what they've done back to them. Don't give it back to they. So they do recognize there's something wrong with it.
Yes.
But I do feel there's a certain derangement after a while.
Yeah.
With a narcissist.
They called it, when I was reading, they called it a chemical, they were getting almost into as a mental illness, illness.
Yeah.
Something that, and because we're heading into Ramadan, and this is the part where I had mentioned earlier in the other video, it was going to be kind of a two-part. I wanted to lead with the narcissism. I wanted to lead with something that is definitely a mental health issue. The narcissism, I was talking about in an earlier video about depression. And because Ramadan is coming up, I saw Ramadan and the fasting that is involved and what it does, what I describe it as the communion of ourself with that higher power within. Communicating with the higher power by way of the reading of the Holy Qur'an, our prayers, clearing ourselves chemically with the fasting. However, I see the implementation. I was reading in an article, I put it in the other video, I'm going to include it in this one as well. It was a study. There have been 5 studies showing how fasting actually can help in the area of mental health. Now, fasting can help in physical ills. Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad talked about he can cure 99% of all illnesses. Now, he didn't specify. He said illnesses. Didn't just specify. I'm wondering also if that also included mental illnesses. I can't see how it could not, especially when you think of all the garbage and all the things that are added in the food right now. I'm wondering, and I'd like to find out further on my own, did Dr. Imani ever address any food or anything in the environment that is also helping to keep a person locked into that type of mental illness? Because I'm seeing where if fasting can help chemically with depression, I'm wondering what else it can do in other areas of mental illness. Did she cover anything like that?
Has not, at least not that I have seen.
Okay.
I think it's one of those things where, if I can actually give a little backstory, I know that you were on the topic of fasting and what that does for mental health, which it really does. It brings a lot of clarity.
Mm-hmm.
You're detoxing.
Right.
And detoxing can really all of a sudden open up some realizations about things. I've
experienced on my own, yes.
That's a big part of it.
Yeah.
So I don't see why not. Because some people have said, and she said, another origin. Let's say there's several origins of what can build narcissism.
Mm-hmm.
One is when a parent, for example, overindulges their child superficially.
Okay.
But never knows how to, and that's always the solution.
Mm-hmm.
It's just more things and more treats and this and that versus
Right.
always spoiling, basically,
Mm-hmm.
but without teaching the child. We're talking about self-regulation on an emotional state, in a mental emotional place.
Okay.
So imagine that self-indulgence is a chemical reaction where now I always have to feed something. I always have to stay fed, including my ego. I always have to feed my entitlement. I always
It's a fix.
It's a fix. I always have to feed validation. That's a big part. You know, a narcissist needs validation constantly.
Okay.
So there is a gluttony, but in a whole other mental way.
Okay.
So yeah, there's something would have to starve out maybe to balance that person.
I mean, if we're being fed regularly, you know, people are encouraged to eat 24/7. And you're never taking a break, never stopping. More poisons are building up in your body. More poisons are building up.
Think about this, and we have to realize that this
Oh gosh,
is our new poison.
Yes, it is.
So you have now a profile where, depending on what we share, if it's just about the day-to-day life, and we make it public, and we want to share, and we do see we have a growing number, and we see that there's things that people are approving. Some people don't care, but also a lot of people do.
Right.
And so here comes now that, and then there's the influence of seeing others who got a lot more likes,
Right.
and feeling kind of less than, having to do more, kind of competing with, needing that validation, stepping outside of your body in a way to feed this persona
that you're creating,
leaving out all the bad things, but only, and so a lot of times, a lot of authenticity is left out of social media. A lot of honesty is left out of it. And so you've got relationships that are actually suffering, but we look like we're good together. I don't really even look like this. I have all these filters on that make me look like this. And it's just keeping up more and more with that. So there's a narcissism that has absolutely been birthed more through social media. So I can see why some people have to do social media fasts and have to walk away from it for a while, because they realize they're getting pulled into something that is changing their whole perception of self-worth in the world around them.
Yes.
And they think that the whole world is this.
Yes.
So whatever you consume, chemically, it's always, everything is chemical.
Everything is, because after a while, there is that, I gotta find it. But I remember we even discussed this in Chemistry 101. We were talking about
dopamine fixes your everything that is there's people have toxic amounts of dopamine within them. So they're always looking for pleasure seeking.